The fourth one, I would probably say, I've learned to not take things for granted, including people who actually want to be in your life. We live in a world where everybody believes and is told to be independent. Yet I would tell you to be interdependent. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's to bring the gifts and skills that you have to a table with somebody else, whether that's a relationship, romantically or platonically, or both. Independent people aren't good leaders. They're just not. They don't make good wives. They don't make good husbands. Well, what do you mean? I can do things on my own. And that's why no one wants to be around you. You think you got this? So why do you rely on other people in certain areas? Almost every area. I mean, goodness gracious. You need other people in your life. You're by nature a social creature. I think it's interesting and important that the place we live in, I mean, we look around us and we all want to build our businesses and we want to build these empires and stuff, but like how many empires have existed that were based on one person? A kingdom of one? Is that satisfying to rule over? I don't think Augustus Caesar was doing that. I don't think that's what David did, or Solomon, or anybody for that matter. There's no multi-million or billion-dollar company that was started and established by one person. And you think you can do all these things on your own when things are even harder now when it comes to building business-wise? It's not even just about business though, it's about life. Life is harder probably now than it ever has been for most people, especially my age, 26. You think you got this on your own? God seems to disagree. That's why He's placed people in your life. Good luck arguing with Him. You may find yourself even more angry with God. I guess the point is, the reason why I say these things is because I've learned them in these past 5 months, and I've always been a believer of community, and yet for the past 5 months I've neglected everybody in my life, except for a select few that I care for. I care to not neglect, I mean. But that's the problem, right? If we do invest in people, it's whom we choose to. And to a degree, you should, right? It's not like you shouldn't. That doesn't really make sense, does it? But what I'm trying to say is don't hold people at afar when they want to be a part of your life. You don't know what they can do for you. And moreover, you don't know what you could do for them. How do you know that you're not an answer to a solution that they've been asking God for? You think life's all about you? You're not the only person that's alive. You think you think because you can see through your eyes, you're the only person that sees anything? That can do anything, that is here. When everybody else sees through the same eyes, theirs, and feels that same thing. You don't know if you're the solution to a prayer that someone has prayed. And by neglecting people, you're holding them at a distance, potentially from healing, or even maybe worse, yourself. You're holding back the purpose that God may have on your life, and you don't even know what it is. You think you know because you have all these ideas. This goes back to the layout that I mentioned. You have a word and you think you have the layout because everything makes sense and it's built up to this point, and this led to that, and that led to this, and this led to this, so therefore it has to be this. How do you know that's the proper way to think? How do you know? Because these things happened. God allows failure to happen. Not saying you're failing, not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying, consider that next time you think that your independence is all that matters. God is the only one that's truly independent. He doesn't truly need any of us, and yet He chooses to be in our lives. Jesus of Nazareth was the most interdependent person to ever exist, the perfect description of a person, and guess what? He was in what? Community. And you think you don't need it, so you're better. That's what you're telling me. You don't need what even He as a man needed. Be wise. You can be intelligent, but that doesn't mean you have wisdom. Wisdom is your application of knowledge. How do you apply the knowledge that you have? Outside of wisdom, knowledge, that doesn't even matter. That's another thing I've learned. I've learned that knowledge means nothing without wisdom. And that's the fifth point. Knowledge is baseless, meaningless, and has no purpose or meaning without wisdom. Did I get wisdom 5 months? Not for the first time, but is this something that I'm realizing? Yes. And that, guys, is part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this one as well. I put a lot of time and effort. I think more so into this one than even so the last one. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the last part.